All right, so what's up, YouTube? Man. Last night or a couple nights ago, whenever you're gonna watch this, James Harden just won the last MVP of the NBA, and that brought up this whole discussion of what could have been with the big three in OKC. Now, it's crazy. I think we've seen so many excuses of why we see the NBA and basketball to be in a predicament that it's in right now with the Golden State Warriors and the Cleveland Cavaliers 4 years in a row, and then Golden State even being just way above that competition by sweeping them. The last couple of years of the finals haven't even been remotely competitive. 5 games, a gentleman's sweep, and then an actual sweep the following year. So what is the problem in basketball? People have blamed a bunch of things. Some people have blamed LeBron James for going to Miami. Some people have blamed the Boston Celtics for putting together their big three of old men 10 years ago. Some people have put the blame on Kevin Durant for joining a team that has already broken the record for the most wins in an NBA season. So where does the blame go? And I think a lot of it has to just do with flat out bad management. I mean, if you look at OKC and what they had in place in OKC, and the reason why they let James Harden go, their third option, sixth man of the year in his second season, third season, he was still fresh out of the league. He was still fresh out of Arizona State, and he won sixth man of the year. In a couple of years, coming out of college, all three of these guys, only a couple of years playing together, they're in the NBA Finals. You have to value what you have in front of you. And I understand Ibaka was on the rise again too, but listen to how stupid that sounds now in 2018. You had the NBA MVP and Serge Ibaka, and you decided to go with Serge Ibaka. Just imagine if the Golden State Warriors, instead of keeping Klay Thompson or Draymond Green, when they started coming along and becoming one of the league's, couple of the league's, biggest players, and then you go ahead and keep Andrew Bogut, or you go ahead and keep Harrison Barnes because you wanted to save a little more money and you saw more promise in them and those young stars and the stars that we already see their potential and their growth. It's simply bad management. Why are the Brooklyn Nets in a position that they're in where they haven't had a first round pick since God knows when, and they're finally going to get one? And I think they had Jared Allen last year. I think he was a first round pick. I don't know how they got that pick, but you have all these years where you don't even get a first round pick and you're in the slums. You're in the bottom 10 of the league for the last at least 3 or 4 years. You know what I'm saying? They played the Hawks. I remember they played the Hawks with Brook Lopez and Joe Johnson, Allen Anderson. That was 2015. So they haven't made the playoffs since then. That's 2015, 2016, 2016, 2017, and 17-18. So 3 seasons going on 4 with no playoff appearances. Nobody really wants to play for them. They have a little talent going forward. We have Jared Allen. They have LeVert, and they have Rondé Hollis Jefferson, Jahlil Okafor. We don't know what he's gonna do. D'Angelo Russell, and I don't know who they drafted this year, but if they even had a first round draft. See, that goes right back to the point. I don't even know if Brooklyn had a first round draft pick. I know they had a lottery pick that went to Cleveland because they can't manage. It's bad management. When Orlando Magic, when the Magic draft in the top 5 every single year since Dwight Howard has left, and they haven't made the playoffs since, you don't make the lottery 5 years, 6 years in a row and continue to make the lottery. You're obviously not drafting the right players. Hello? I mean, you got Oladipo and Tobias Harris, and who else did they draft? Vucevic and Aaron Gordon, and they drafted Herzana, who didn't work out. But I mean, you drafted at least 4 quality guys that can get you to the playoffs, but you didn't know how to manage it. You didn't know how to coach it. You didn't draft the right players, or you drafted the right players, but the wrong fit on the wrong team, in the wrong system, in the wrong city. I don't know what it is. Bad management. Orlando Magic, the Brooklyn Nets, OKC. You can keep going on. The way that the teams have reportedly let LeBron James just push the GMs and the coaches and to get whatever he wants because he threatened to say he's going to leave if he doesn't get his way. Bad management. That's the only reason why we got in the position that we're in right now. Golden State found a way to, oh, wow, we drafted Willie Rowe. Oh, wow, I think we're going to keep these players regardless of what. And it also has something to do with the players because, you know, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, they all play buddy-buddy to stay together and win as much as they could. Once they started winning, once Steve Kerr came in and they started winning all those games and going from a team that was on the rise to a team that was here and an elite and championship level team. So, I mean, of course, some of that goes to the players, but at the end of the day, it just comes down to management. It comes down to management. It comes down to coaching. It just comes down to just thinking. Logically thinking, chess pieces, putting a team together. San Antonio's always in the mix. San Antonio even made the playoffs this year, and I believe they got swept. I don't even know if they got swept. They might have won a game. They might have won a game and pushed it to 5 when Pop was going through the worst weeks of his life, the worst days of his life, because their system and their management is always good. They had Devontae Murray come out of nowhere. I mean, all due respect to him, I'm sure he had a great college career and he was supposed to be a great player. But yeah, Devontae Murray, Kawhi Leonard, was a guy that he wasn't a top 5 pick. He was a lottery pick. He was in the lottery range, and then you traded, I think, George Hill for him or however they got Kawhi Leonard. But Kawhi Leonard, Tony Parker was like the 30th pick in the first round. You know what I'm saying? Ginobili was the 57th pick. This is just good management. This is good drafting. This is good coaching. This is a culture. This is plug and play. All right, Tim Duncan retired. We're going to plug in LaMarcus Aldridge. It didn't work the first year, but it's doing well enough the next year to continue to make the playoffs, even though a top 5 player in the world is going to sit out the entire year and demand a trade at the end of the year. That's management. That's just culture. That's good management. That's good coaching. That's running your organization well. And that's something that every team just lacks now. That's just something that most of these teams just lack now. And that's the reason why the NBA is in the position it's in. It's not because Kevin Durant decided to go to Golden State. It's not because LeBron James decided to go to Miami. It's not because Danny Ainge decided to trade Kevin Garnett and Ray Allen to the Boston Celtics. It's simply due to poor management, poor drafting, poor coaching, and then everybody is just so caught up in the microwave generation of, oh, I can't get fired. I can't get fired, so I got to get him. I got to get him. I got to get him. I got to get, okay. We got to put it together. What are we going to do? We got Paul George. We got Russell Westbrook. Melo don't even make sense. Y'all knew that wasn't gonna work from the minute y'all did that trade, man. But y'all did it anyway for what? Because super teams y'all chasing, y'all panicking, y'all moving too fast, y'all rushing into it. Bad management, bad coaching, just bad decision making, just running your organization terribly, and then rushing and being influenced by what social media says. Oh, they gotta get so-and-so. Oh, they gotta get so-and-so. Oh, to compete, they gotta get so-and-so. And now we're in the same position where we got Paul George out here. And they're talking about Paul George like he's a difference maker, like he's gonna turn you into a championship contender. Paul George ain't turning anybody into a championship contender. I'm sorry, I had to say it. He's going to put up some great points. He's a good 3-and-D player. He's a good athletic, one of the better offensive players and one of the better NBA players, period, in the game. He ain't going to win you no championship. So is DeMar DeRozan. DeMar DeRozan's one of the best players in the game. Is he going to win you a championship? I don't know. He hasn't proved anything to me yet. Can't get past LeBron James. Paul George had about 6 points in his last playoff game with OKC in Utah. In the elimination game. You mean to tell me that man right there is going to turn me from a lottery team, hello LA, into a championship contender? Come on now, bad management, poor coaching, and just running your organization and rushing Rushing because what you hear on social media. Oh, if the Lakers just get Paul George and Kawhi Leonard, we're going all the way. What? They play the same position. Let's think real quick, man. What did you think with Paul George, Russell Westbrook, and Carmelo Anthony? Did y'all really think that was gonna work? Come on, man. Y'all gotta think. Poor management, rushing because of social media, and poor coaching. That's the reason why the NBA is in the position it's in today, and it's not because of any superstar decided to go to this team and it was a domino effect. That's not the reason. It's because of poor management, social media, poor coaching, poor drafting, not running your franchise well. That's the reason. I'm sorry it got a little heated. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe. I didn't mean to go on a rant, but it is what it is. I'm gonna try to keep on bringing content for y'all and everything like that. Until next time.